about what is being asked for when you hear the instruction, please reach with your fingers of your right hand further to the left as if you wanted to touch something on the floor over there. And then come back. And then reach with the fingers of the left hand further to the right as if you wanted to touch something on the floor, way over there. And you feel free to roll your head. Feel free to roll your chest. Feel free to roll your pelvis, your legs. Feel free to bend your legs, but don't push the floor with your legs. Just let your legs move over the floor. And some of you will now also have a different notion of what the quality of that can feel like. So there's a form to it, and then there's a quality to it. And when you get the quality and the form just right, it really feels like you're hardly doing anything at all. You have the idea, you go, and it just kind of happens. That's the nature of most fully learned activities, ones that have already become a habit. You just simply think it and you do it. Let that be. Roll onto your stomach, please. And lie on your front. Have your arms in that cactus position with the right forearm pointing upwards, the left forearm pointing downwards, and the elbows level with the shoulders. Slide the right arm up, slide the left arm down, and then return. Just that very simple movement. See how that's going. How's that developing for you? Not just in terms of how far you can take the arms, that would be just one particular aspect, but do the arms feel lighter to you? Do they feel like they're a little bit more articulate in their movement? And then also, do you have a clearer sense of where they are in space relative to the rest of you? Because that's a difference. Being aware of where they are moment by moment. Now bring the arms back to position. And before you make any movement with your arms, please roll your pelvis. A little bit left, a little bit right. Just get a feel for what it's like to roll your pelvis with your legs more or less long. And if you'd like to bend your legs a little bit, you can, but roll your pelvis. Roll it slow, roll it fast. Just roll it. Bring your pelvis to the middle, and now slowly start to slip that left hand underneath your ribs, underneath your abdomen, and bring it back out again. Just that. Roll your chest, roll your pelvis in a way that enables you to do that. Stay lying on your front. Do not lie on your side. Oops, sorry. That was pretty definite. As much as you can, stay lying on your front. But that doesn't mean you can't roll. And then if you really need to, in other words, that it's important that you do it because there is no other way of doing it. If you really need to roll onto your side, then you should roll onto your side. But not as a first option. Take your hand further through. Can you get your whole forearm underneath yourself so that the whole left hand pokes out to the right-hand side? And then bring it back out again. Now, probably about now would be a good time to start thinking, how could that right arm assist? Using the movements that you were doing this morning of lengthening that right arm and bringing it around, how could using that right arm assist you to bring that left hand all the way through? All the way through. So take your time. Don't be in a hurry. There's rolling of the pelvis. Your pelvis will need to roll in one direction and then in another. Maybe some of you could take that left hand so far through that you could touch the right shoulder. Maybe some of you can take that left hand so far through that you can touch the right shoulder. Well, if you can touch the right shoulder, well, surely you could make just one big circle with that left arm. One big circle on the floor until it ends up in the same position that it started. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Remember the guy with the net chasing his head? Don't be that fellow. Don't let your body try to chase your fast thinking mind. No. Slow down. Don't bump into the pole. Feel your way through it. Be one with the force, Luke. See if you can make a complete circle with that left arm. And it will have to pass underneath your right arm, and it will have to pass underneath your head. That's it. And you lift whatever needs to be lifted off the ground is lifted off the ground. And as soon as you've finished lifting it, put it back down. Otherwise, you end up wasting a lot of energy. Yeah? No. You didn't make a circle. Stop. Just stop. Rest a moment. Rest on your back, rest on your front, wherever you're most comfortable. Roll to one side, come up to standing. I've been waiting for this moment all day, especially when I heard the word cactus. Could you all pretend you're cacti? Just have your arms in the cactus position. That's it. Okay. Now there you are standing without the restriction of the floor anymore. Just there's no restriction. Now, with that right arm, could you now take it in front of your tummy, put the elbow in front of your tummy, take the hand in front of your right shoulder, take your elbow in front of your face, and then take the arm all the way around to the left, and then end up in the same position, and there you are. Yeah, so just do that a few times for yourself so you can actually sense the pathway of that right arm when you don't have to deal with gravity pulling you against the floor. The downward facing arm goes down, across, around, back, and then flips. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And what a lot of you will find that really you don't have any difficulty with your arm. Maybe some of you have some maybe little impingements, but it's not really about the arm. And it's not really about the chest. It's having to do with deal with the floor lying on your tummy and having to lift yourself to create the space. But when you're upright, it just goes around and around. It just goes around and around. So now, as you make that movement several times, notice to take the hand underneath, where do you turn your pelvis? What happens? Where does your weight shift? Ah, look, some of you actually make a little hollow in your tummy to actually make that space for the arm to go around. Oh, that's good. You're already anticipating what's about to happen on the floor. That's good. Welcome to Cactus Class 101, Acting Method. Please lie on your front and try the same thing. So now that your mind understands that there's a particular way of moving that arm around, some of you will be almost immediately be able to do it. Which tells me that the difficulty wasn't in that you weren't strong enough and you weren't supple enough. It was really in terms of your image of what you were trying to accomplish. And as soon as that image becomes clarified, you're able. That's it. The pelvis rolls to the right. You create a little bit of space, and then you roll your pelvis to the other side. That's it. And it comes all the way around, and what do they say? Bob's your uncle. No, it's not. You did have an Uncle Bob once? Oh, what happened to Uncle Bob? Oh, that happens. That happens. There we go. Yeah. And then you roll your pelvis to the other side. Use your right arm however you like. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. And now that there's that clarity there, if you feel you would like to, go a little faster. If that's something that you feel you'd like to do, to make the movement a little faster, please feel free to do that. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. Yep. Right hip, right hip. Yep. That's nice. Yes. Yeah. Good. Good, good. All right. Let that be, please. Rest. This morning I mentioned that that puzzle that used to be in every magazine for a long, long time, joining the dots. Well, depending on how many dots there are, sometimes it was possible to guess what the picture was without putting a pencil on it. And sometimes you just had to put that pencil on and go from dot to dot to dot to dot. Both ways are just as good, but it's still joining the dots. So once you understand, not in a conceptual way, but and maybe in a conceptual way, but once you understand the idea of something, what it feels like, what it might look like, your ability to enact it is far more improved. Lie on your front again. Have your arms in the cactus position, right arm forward, right arm up, left arm down. And you've just circled your left arm. That means there's one arm left to circle. You've done half a circle with it. Would it be now possible to do a complete circle with the right arm? So start off sliding the arm upwards, take it under your head, and then underneath yourself, out to the right. Take your time. Catch yourself. If your head is running faster than the rest of you can keep up, slow down. Because conceptual mind can work really, really, really quick, which means what you're thinking and what you're doing might be out of pace with each other. Keep pace with what you're doing. Keep in contact with the sensation, the bodily feeling of what you're doing. Don't let your mind run off. Unless you want the body to be running behind with a net trying to catch it. But that's a different game. And yes, there'll be a certain amount of rolling, and there'll be a certain amount of flexing, and there'll be a certain amount of lifting the chest, putting one side of the chest down. All of that will happen. And each of you will find your own unique way of circling that right arm. The right arm. You can do anything you like with the left arm. You can even put it in a push-ups position to help. Yeah, that makes it easier, doesn't it? Sort of. Or maybe it complicates it. That's it. Now keep paying attention to that right shoulder blade. How can it just keep moving? How can it just keep moving? How can it just keep moving? Just keep moving. Moving on the rib cage, moving on the rib cage, moving on the rib cage, moving on the rib cage. That's it. Because if that right shoulder blade can keep on moving around the rib cage, then you won't feel stuck in the arm. That's it. That's it. That's it. Nice, 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 nice. Yep. Oh, beautiful. Yep. Okay, let that be. Rest on your back, please. Two more variations. Please return to lying on your front. Have your arms in that cactus position. So this time, coordinate the movements of both arms so that you end up lying on your back. So think of taking the left arm underneath you and the right arm upwards, and use that movement to roll onto your back. And then return onto your front. So there's something about threading that left arm underneath you where it can actually keep on going further and further and further to the right, to the point where you just get rolled. That's it. What was that? Sound like a click. That's it. Right underneath yourself. Bring the right arm, left arm all the way forward, all the way forward. You could actually bring that left arm so far through to the right that the left shoulder just keeps following and you end up being rolled onto your back. Yeah. Okay. Next time you're on your tummy, please stay there. Rest your arms in any position you like. Now, come and prop yourself up onto your elbows and your forearms. So prop yourself up onto your elbows and your forearms. And notice the direction in which your forearms are pointing. Are they pointing directly ahead of you, forwards? Yes? Good. From that position, bring both of your elbows to come to touch and both forearms to come to touch. So now the elbows are really close. Yeah? Notice the direction in which your forearms are pointing. Take the elbows further apart. There is a point. I'm getting there. Yeah? Now, could you bring your elbows to touch, but this time have your right forearm pointing to the left and your left forearm pointing to the right? Bring your elbows to touch, but have your right forearm pointing to the left and your left forearm pointing to the right. I told you. You've done this movement before, but you were lying on your back. Do you remember that position of your arms when you were lying on your back? Remember how your arm had your arms folded across your chest? Just think that your arms are folded on across your chest, but now you're leaning on your forearms. There we go. Have your forearms lying on the floor. Have your elbows really close together. Yeah, touching, touching, touching. Yeah, elbows touching, forearms on the floor, hands on the floor, palms to the ceiling. Oh, it gets really complicated after a while, doesn't it? All these instructions. Oi, are they instructions? Palms towards the ceiling. That's it. Now, think of putting your right shoulder in your left hand. Your elbows aren't touching. Elbows are touching. Elbows are touching. Yeah, come back up. Right shoulder into left hand. Yeah, right shoulder into left hand. If you know which the left hand is, some of you will actually be totally like, what the hell? What is my left hand? And now put your left shoulder in your right hand. Your forearms stay on the floor. Your forearms stay on the floor. Listen carefully. There we go. Your forearms are on the floor. Your arms are not crossed, or else you're going to end up breaking your chest. No, that's your arms crossed. So remember that when you're on your back, Sue, and you had your arms folded. Yeah, have the same position. Have your forearms on the floor. Yep. From the wrist to the elbow, that's called the forearm. Yep. Yep. That's good. We're on the same page. Yeah. So elbows touching, right forearm pointing to the left, left forearm pointing to the right, but don't have the arms crossed. That's the only thing that just like hugging yourself, just like hugging yourself before. Roll onto your chest. Roll onto your back. Roll onto your back. No, I'm talking. Yeah. Now just fold your arms across your chest. Yeah. Can you feel that position here? Look, elbow next to elbow. And if you're on your tummy, your arms would be like that with your forearms lying on the floor. Can you feel that? Well, why don't you just simply roll yourself 180 degrees, come up, and there you are. No, that's it. There you go. Yeah. So now do you believe me? See, it often is the image of what is being asked for. Until that's clear, we try everything. I know you couldn't, but that's why. Yeah. That's great. So now you can take that shoulder and put it in this hand. That's it. Yeah, just lie on it. There we go. And come back up. And now you can take this shoulder and lie it in this hand. There it is. You can leave that hand on the ground. You don't need it. Yeah. And now lift yourself back up. Leave this hand on the ground. Put that shoulder in the other hand. Beautiful. That's it. Yeah. So please lie on your back. Lie on your back. Fold your arms across your chest so that your elbows are touching, but don't cross your arms. All right, don't cross your arms. Now, just roll onto your front. Keep your arms in this position until you land up on your elbows. Just roll onto your front until you end up on your elbows. And there you are. You can let your forearms be on the floor. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, just when you get onto your tummy, just open up the elbows. There we go. Done. Yeah, that was an easy way, wasn't it? If I only had have knew that that was the easy way first, that's how I would have done it. I thought the other way was easy, but never mind. So now, there you are, propped up on your elbows and your forearms. Could you please put your shoulder into your left hand, left shoulder into the right hand, and continue to roll yourself until you're completely rolled out of your arms, until you're on your back. There you go. And now cross your arm over yourself and return. Return, go back the same way you came. And just wrap yourself up in your arms again. So unwrap yourself and wrap yourself. Unwrap yourself and wrap yourself. That's it. Now, stop a moment, lie on your back, leave it be. Now, slide your arms out to the sides so that the palms are facing the ceiling. And think to yourself, don't do anything, just think it. Think it through. You're going to roll to your right. And basically, you're going to roll into that right arm. You're going to come up onto that right elbow. So you're rolling to the right. Don't do anything, just think it through. You're rolling to the right. You're going to bring the whole of your chest up above your right elbow. And that left arm is going to help. That left arm is going to come across you as if you're going to hug yourself with that left arm. And that left elbow will end up on the floor, supporting you with your right elbow. Now, the position is one you already know, the elbows folded in front of your chest. It's just now, in this particular instance, you are now rolling into that folding position. And there will be a moment when your chest and your head is supported by your arms. Go ahead and do that a little bit at a time. Beautiful. Nice. So why didn't I talk it through like this the first time, right? That seemed so nice. You're rolling to the right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. And then you just return. Yeah. Well, you know, with some clients, that's exactly what I do. I never use the word left and right. I say, I touch them on that hand and I say, bring this shoulder to this hand. And it's the touch that identifies it to them. Yeah. So roll towards the whiteboard over there. Yeah. And it's like, wow. Yeah, I know. I know. So it tells you something about that amazing skill that tumblers have. Yeah. That they actually jump off the ground, they do these twists and they turns, and they know where the hell they are. That is incredible. Hello, yeah. All right. Okay, let that be. Rest. Notice your contact with the floor. And in your own time, without me giving you directions, make your way to standing, feel what it's like to stand, walk a little bit, have a little break, and then we'll come back and we'll finish off the day with another ATM, but now heading off into a different set.